And hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Reality Scoot Gamers reaction video where we react to Asoka Season 1, Episode 7. I think this one's called Dreams and Nightmares, or These Dreams Are Made of These. Who am I to disagree?
Did it have something with madness in it?
Yeah,
Or
Dreams and
no?
Yeah.
Madness. I don't remember.
I think I might have made it up.
Dreams and Madness. Madness and Dreams. I still
Something.
like the rhythmics reference I made there. So for you 80s fans, there you go. And we're going to review the show for you guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Comments are always appreciated. Blah, blah, blah. It's on YouTube. It's how you help the algorithm. So this will be going and recorded. I'm your host, Ranger J 1999. That lovely lady next to me is the world famous Kate Gaming. How are you, Kate?
I'm good.
And the not so lovely and wannabe fourth Okage, Thanos Kyrellis, is here as well.
How's it going? Glad to be here.
Handsome, but not lovely. I would never use those words to describe you. He thinks that the fourth Okage. He's really the second. Okay.
Oh no.
See what I did there to you? Thing knows like I'm an anime junkie, so like you can talk Naruto, Boruto, Hunter x Hunter. You go down the list. I'm like, yeah, I know all the stories and characters. Mm-hmm. You're a second Hokage, and you're gonna like it. You're lucky I didn't make you a
Oh
Kazakage.
no. I wouldn't mind being the what is it
The
the
fourth.
fifth Kazakage Gara? What's
Oh, you want to be
Gara's
Gar?
the fifth.
Yeah, I mean, his father was pretty cool. He had the metallic sand. But anyway, we're getting off topic. We got Ahsoka to talk about. Damn it, man! I am loving this show. Gotta be saying this episode. After 5 and 6. I mean, good God. I mean, they had to set some things up, and some things had to happen in this episode. So I understood that. I still love the episode. Not as much as the other two. I think the other two were just so incredible. But this one was for me, in just general talking terms, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the the character moments. There was a lot of good character moments in this. A lot of great action sequences in here. The soundtrack is incredible. I absolutely love the soundtrack for Ahsoka. But yeah, I really liked it. Kate, how are you feeling about Ahsoka episode 7? What'd you think?
I'm actually gonna pull a Thane here, and
Wow.
it was probably my least favorite out of all the episodes so far.
That's okay. I've
It
heard that.
had good moments,
Yeah.
but it also had a lot where I was just like,
I think
it's a setup.
it's very much. Someone said if it's filler, I'm like, you need to learn what filler is.
It's not filler. It's
It actually
setup,
progressed the story.
but
It's set up for this bombastic. I think episode 8 we're gonna
there
get.
was just quite a few things I just didn't really care for. But
That's all right. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it wasn't my favorite episode either, but I
no,
liked it
no.
probably a little bit more than you. I thought there was some really good stuff in there. But yeah, after 5 and 6, I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing. I see what
That's
we're
a
doing.
high bar that they
I
set with
know,
those
God.
episodes. So yeah.
God. Dane, how are you feeling on this episode?
I'm the opposite of Kate. This is probably my second favorite episode.
Wow.
As a side note, as an anime fan, I do hate when people throw away the word filler when they don't know what it means.
I know, right?
Because
Have you
it's a
seen
term
One Piece anime before?
Yeah, it's like okay, like you guys stole our term because you see it being used and you guys don't even know what it means. Like, no, this is probably my second favorite episode. Out of the series. There's only been three episodes that I've really enjoyed, which was this one, the last one, and
I think you said
then
episode 2 or
I
3
think it
you
was like
really
the
liked.
second episode.
Yeah, you really like this.
But
I find it hilarious how Thane and I are just complete opposites.
That's why we have you on.
well,
Makes
at
my
least I'm
life
consistent,
interesting.
right?
I'll tell you
Like,
that much because I don't know whose side I'm taking. It's like, all right, we're fighting, Kate. Let's go. No, I'm not fighting for this episode.
yeah, no, I mean, we'll get into it more, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
let's
like
divide this up
my second favorite.
into the two parts. So the first part we have this scene where Hera is on trial, back and forth. I love how she just went after that senator. It was so good. And then we had an appearance by C-3PO with Leia. Although we
Yeah.
can't have Carrie Fisher there, it was so good to see C-3PO there, and then just basically dropping Leia's name where that senator's like, "You have anything else to say?" No. It's like, right, that's right, bitch. You shut your dirty pie hole. Senator Leia Organa said, get the hell out of here. And there's a lot of great moments that's with like Chopper when he says just a droid. And
Oh,
Chopper was
Chopper was
so good. It's like, do
hilarious.
you know who's in the room with you? The murderous genocide droid senator. He don't give a crap that you're a senator. He'll come over there and twist your nipples off. I mean, that's not the man you want to piss off. But I really like this scene. It sets some things up. You know, you can see that the certain factions, the New Republic is going through the growing pains of being a new government and stuff. I like this scene. It works. It worked for me. Kate, not big on the episode, but what did you think of the opening stuff with hair and everything like that?
I wasn't huge on it.
It's
It's
okay.
kind of like predictable, which I mean, stuff's gonna be predictable, but I wasn't my cup of tea. I was cursing that one guy out like the whole entire time.
And he's doing his
"Shut
job.
up."
I really hate that guy. He's doing a good job acting. Like you, son. You don't talk to her like that. You don't talk to
Yeah.
Chopper like that.
Yeah.
I'll get in there and kick your ass.
I love
Yeah.
Chopper. Chopper
So
definitely
good.
made the scene for me.
You guys hold him back like
Yeah.
It's so good. Thing, what about you on this opening sequence? It's basically
Actually,
setting up the threat of Thrawn, and you see at the end Momo just like, how real is the threat?
yeah,
You know,
this scene, I just agree with Kay. I think this actually has a much more
I love
in-depth
this.
scene lore-wise than because it establishes a lot of things, right? So we find out
Yeah,
that Leia is like basically like the Secretary of Defense, for the New Republic.
yeah,
And like I
senatorial.
haven't heard too much talk about whether this, a rumored Hera show that's going to tie into this. But now they kind of, if they set this up where like Leia is now going to have Hera basically build this subdivision in order for them to hunt down Thrawn and stuff. It kind of makes sense, right? Because you can have Leia. If they don't want to recast an actress, they can do like some kind of a voice
They could
manipulation so
use her
they can make it.
daughter and do a
They could
deep
use
fake.
Billy Lord.
Yeah, they could use Billy
Easy.
Lord and
I don't want them to use Billy Lore for a young Leia. I would prefer
well
someone else.
They
for a
already
deep
did, though.
yeah, for a deep fake. You know what I'm
They
saying?
already
So,
did.
I know, but I'd prefer someone else.
well, if you
But
have
that's not
another actress
neither
in
here
mind,
nor
I'm
there.
fine with that. As long as it looks good, it works. Just like what they did with Luke in Book of Boba Fett episode 5. I
It's
mean,
just
that defake was
yeah,
fantastic. You know, that was really good work. And then whoever worked on the Anakin stuff and that
yeah,
episode, even this one, because we're gonna get right into it, God, he looks good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, they did a great job with him. And Hayden Christensen, man, can I say just God, he's getting the love he deserves.
Finally.
Yes, this
Yeah.
opening, because we get past
Finally.
that. Okay, we'll get past the Harris stuff and the Momo stuff. We have
Yeah.
the
Then the it's interesting because so in this opening scene, like because for those who don't know, like Kaz, not Kaz, the Xiono, that's Kaz from the animated show. That's his dad. So we know what his fate is later on, and we know that he doesn't change, and he ultimately loses. He's from Hosnian Prime, so he ultimately loses his homeworld for him due to him being like super like against you know taking threats seriously and
you know
stuff.
about the
So
senator? What are you
yeah,
talking
so
about? Yeah,
that's yeah, we've seen him later on, like in an animated show, so we know what happened to him.
yeah,
Um,
he'll get his.
and I did like that they established in that scene they kind of established Leia as authority because C-3PO kind of gets like really cheeky with the senator too because
Mm-hmm.
he's like, oh, like she ordered the mission and she was not aware that the senator had pushed a vote to have this hearing
Yeah,
without her,
without her
and he
knowing
kind
about
of
it. Like, oh, some
yes,
sneaky politics stuff.
yeah, that's why I found this scene really really
It worked
fascinating
for
because
me
you
too.
see. Yeah, because you see, like there's a lot of like political. Like I've always liked the political side of Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars has
Um,
done some good political stuff.
See, I'm not
and you,
political at all. No, I'm good.
Well, it's just the
No.
sense of our own history as a species, and I love history and political history and
yeah,
and
same.
the stuff. So I ate that stuff up. But if it
Yeah,
didn't
that's why the
work, it
scene.
didn't work for you. That's all right, Kate. That's totally cool.
It's just not my cup of tea. It's
Then
all
we
good
get
then.
to
Yeah,
I think I want to get to the I just mentioned Hayden Christensen, but that opening scene with her working on her forms and that
yep.
shot with Hayden Christensen in the hollow, it is so good. And then Huang, who's just God, he's just that droid
Can
has
I
just been
just say,
killing.
like, the dialogue between
Oh my
Ahsoka and
God.
Huyang this whole episode was fantastic.
It was really
It was
fantastic.
hilarious.
Yeah, because there's that one scene where they're in the with the well, and he's like telling them, it's just like she gets cheeky with him. It's like, I did tell you the odds. He just
Yeah,
starts
I
smiling at him.
love that. That was so awesome.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to Ahsoka being more freer now, and you can see Rosario Dawson is becoming the Ahsoka that's now she's unburdened herself with all the guilt and feelings she had toward Anakin. And she's just smiling more and laughing more, and you know, we see it at the end of this episode with the big hug she gives Ezra. People
Yeah.
forget Ezra and Ahsoka have a very close relationship. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, what they went through in the World Between Worlds alone, plus all the stuff they went through in the Rebels. I mean, they have a very close bond. They went through some shit, as they all did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really like that. You know, we're seeing a different side of Ahsoka. You know, people were complaining that the first 4 episodes are where she was very solemn. Like, she's traumatized. If you had had the life that she had, yeah, and she hadn't dealt with her trauma, and we know what that goes. That can be like. So. So we have that great scene. Just let's stay on the Ahsoka stuff. The scenes with Ahsoka. So we have Ahsoka in the ship. I thought the ship battle. I thought that was in great cinematography with the whales coming out of hyperspace
Hyperspace.
and
Yeah.
Thrawn. You know, Thrawn, man, they did some great Thrawny stuff this episode. They really showed how Thrawn is. He just thinks ahead of you.
Oh, that proved it in the like last sequence with him. Like
Yeah.
that just proved he's always like 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So the mines were there. Then there's a whole ship battle. Eventually, Ahsoka gets to the planet. We have a couple fight scenes, but I thought all the scenes with Ahsoka, we have a Bailey and Ahsoka fight again. Loved it. I thought it was really well done. I like the way
thought
they
it
shoot,
was kind of like cut short. I don't know.
but on purpose, because what I loved about
I
that fight
get
scene,
it.
because
Get
her
it.
priorities was getting to them. So it's like, because he says you can't defeat me. She's like, possibly, but I don't have to defeat you. And what she's basically saying there is like, I don't want to fight you. I got other things I got to worry about, and set it up with Huyang to do the thing where she's able to get away. She's not there to fight or defeat Balin.
No, I got it. It was like one of those, I get it. I just
Didn't like it.
wanted more.
You wanted
No,
more.
I
Well,
wanted
yeah,
more. I
yeah.
think anybody does.
And then, you know, the scene with her fighting the stormtroopers with Ezra and Sabine was really good. Just the Ahsoka moments that shine to you. Overall, Kate, Ahsoka scenes you wanted more, obviously, but I mean, I liked all the
I
scenes.
like the Ahsoka she's becoming.
Mm-hmm. Agree with that assessment. What about you, Thane? Ahsoka stuff?
I really enjoyed the stuff with Anakin. It really kind of shows her, you know, being able to, because you know, like the whole thing about like live or die. Like before, she wasn't living, right? She was just, you know, holding herself back. She didn't actually let herself, you know, express and, like you said, you know, be who she was. You know, so now it's like she's able to actually let that go and stuff, and she's actually able to, you know, remember Anakin for, you know, who he was. And you know, the way that they cut that scene, like even though he's not there, it almost feels like he is, right? He's
Yeah.
talking to her, like, you know, in that moment and stuff. And you know, you can feel the emotions coming out of Anakin. So you know, uh everybody talks about, you know, the job Ray Stevenson is doing, which I don't really like the character, so I don't understand it. But Anakin, you know, his Hayden Christensen's acting has been, you know, amongst the best in the series you know,
Well, I think him
thus
and
far.
Ray Stevenson both are, and besides Mendelsohn, yeah, the guy playing Thrawn, I think those three have really stood out.
Well, we'll get to him eventually,
but yeah, but yeah, and there was a great scene too where you know, she tells that that Anakin left her and recorded 20 messages for her. This is just one of 20.
Yeah.
This was the final one, and he said he's a good master, and she said, yeah, he was, he was a good man. That's basically what she's saying. Even though we know what happens to Anakin, people forget that Anakin, through his entire life up until he became Vader, was the most incredible of Jedi. You know, loyal to
Well,
a
as a
fault.
kid too, like,
Yeah, loyal to a fault, would do anything for people he cared about, went out of his way for his troops and everybody else. So, you know, So you have to take the good with the bad and the. All right. I want to talk about Thrawn next.
Oh,
Love.
amazing.
God, that thing where he says at the end, "The victory is time. Time is victory." This whole thing he's just setting up. It's like, if we win this fight, great. If we don't, I've already won, because really the whole point was to keep them away and busy while I get this shit that I need here so we can make a jump and
That
kiss my
just proves
ass.
how much he thinks ahead.
Oh my god, he's incredible. Oh
I
god.
would love more Thrawn.
We're gonna get more Thrawn, don't worry. But
Oh, I know we'll get more Thrawn, but I would love just seeing more how
yeah.
his brain works.
Oh, it's so good. The Thrawn stuff, their thing, so good. What are your thoughts on Thrawn, man? I could watch him all day.
So this is where this is part of the episodes that I didn't necessarily like, and that's because Thrawn in Rebels, one of the main issues with Rebels was that they they keep telling us like, oh, Thrawn's this big, tactical genius, stuff like that, but he constantly loses. Even like, the Knights are like, oh, you lost. And he's like, oh, well, did I? And stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you lost, bro. Like, yeah, you lost the battle. And the problem is, if he, because of how many times he lost in Rebels, and how many times, now he needs a
won a
big win.
lot
He
in
needs a big
Rebels.
win. Huh?
He won a lot in Rebels. The only fight he lost is the final one. That's because of the
Uh,
incompetence that he can't stand. I love one of Thrawn's sayings like,
yeah, the
I'm
Rebels got
sorry
the
for
better
getting
of him a
angry. It's
couple of
not, I
times,
forget
but
sometimes that people are not me and they're incompetent and stupid. Basically, that's what he's saying. Like, I don't want to be angry, but yeah, that's why. You suck.
yeah, so they need to do something big with him, like whether
I
it's
think this
killing
next
off a
episode,
character or
I think
something.
they're going to show him coming in and going,
Because
destroy
thus
everybody.
far he even though he's the personality wise he is like Thrawn, like it's just he doesn't feel like a threat. Like I said earlier, like I feel more threat. Like I feel more scared of of the what's the magistrate's name?
But the lady?
Yeah, what's her name?
Oh, I'm having a heart.
Yeah, well, her. Anyways, well, I feel more threatened by
I
her
just
than Thrawn. So it's just they need to establish him a little bit better as a threat.
I think they have. I disagree with that. I mean, I think they have. I mean,
Uh,
yeah. I think
I
they
think
have.
it's
no.
a lot of talk right now.
But I mean,
Exactly. So that's the thing I don't like about Thrawn. Like in
well, being
general,
an
especially in Rebel
ex-military
stuff.
man and stuff like that, I mean, the way Thrawn thinks is very much 5D chess, and I appreciate it greatly because he doesn't just look as a battle; he's looking at long-term stuff. I
Yeah,
got to
but,
sacrifice,
Yeah.
but
but
no,
you can
that's the
only
way it
say that
works.
so much. You can only say that so much until he constantly loses. So that's the
He
thing. It's like
doesn't
you can
constantly
only
lose. You're
say
talking
yes,
out
he
your
does.
ass. Okay.
No, he
In
lost a lot in
Rebels, in the
Rebels.
books,
Yeah.
he kicks everybody's ass. The only
No,
time
he
he loses,
doesn't. You can
yes,
only
he
do that
does.
so
They
much
show him
until
destroying fleets and stuff. He's got the seventh fleet. How do you think he ended up? You're like, Palpatine's like, this guy sucks. I'm going to give him my most important fleet.
yeah, okay. In the new books, he's fine, but in Rebels, he doesn't. In Rebels, he does lose a
Oh
lot
my
to the
god.
Phoenix Squadron of all things.
Oh my.
It's like, oh my god. Like,
All right, then. But
I mean,
anyway,
the guy almost shat his pants at the thought of Anakin being the mentor of Asoka.
no, he
Wait until he finds
didn't.
out his son. Wait until his son is out there. He's probably be like, oh, maybe I should have just stayed in exile.
I think we've been watching like two separate
What things
things.
watching? I mean, I'm the one that was having to sniff glue today because I didn't have a choice. But thing, you really might. Jesus.
Yeah, like go look at that scene where he's like Anakin Skywalker was his mentor. He's like you see his
Yeah,
face.
because
He's
he
like about
knows
to
who
take a
Anakin is. It wasn't shit in his
yeah.
pants. He's like,
He's
oh, that was
scared at the
Darth
name.
Vader's apprentice.
Yeah, he's like he's
Interesting.
scared of the
He's more.
name. Wait
He
until he
wasn't
finds out
scared of
his
the
son's
name at
out
all.
there.
Oh, you're talking trash.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
get out of here.
Feels
We're
like
moving on.
Voldemort, man.
We're moving on, Voldemort. All right. God. Good Lord. All right. Balin stuff. I'm going to cover Balin. I was right. Shin didn't betray him. And I liked what I said Balin could see in the last episode review. I'm like, Balin sees what's going on with Shin. And I didn't know how they were going to do it, but he was absolutely right. He's like, your lust, pretty much it's her lust for power. He knew. It's like, your path's got to go away from mine. So, and he gave that's really smart words at the end, like, about victory. you know, and she actually listened to him, you know,
The
because she.
impatience will always result in defeat.
Yes, it was such a great
Yeah.
quote. I mean, Ray Stevenson has been so good. Um, I just love his character. It's a damn
I'm
shame we
still
lost.
trying to figure him out. I
He's
like his character a lot. I'm still trying to
he's
figure
got a
him
bigger
out.
goal,
He
and
does, yeah.
and we're gonna see something related to that. What that's going to be, I don't know. There's been a lot of speculation. I've watched videos on it. I've heard Abeloth. I've heard
Well, do you think they'd even potentially like recast him for season 2?
possibly, but I mean, I don't. It's not just the character itself; it's the performance. But if they got the right person, I could see them doing that, and I would be okay with that.
I
You
would
know,
too. Yeah.
because there's enough good. There's plenty of great actors out there that in Hollywood that you could say could, you know, do the role justice. You know, in honor of him. You know,
Mhm.
so I would be okay with that. But the character's motivations, you know, because he fights Ahsoka and in the end, he's like, yeah, I got bigger things to do. You know, he's like, he's got his path. You know, he's had his path since the beginning. And he could see Shin's path was not with him anymore. That she needs to be with Thrawn. That's where her motivations, her desires were. You know,
Shin's
that
becoming the Emperor's hand.
possibly, you know, we don't know what's going to happen with her. But it was cool to see that she did take her master's final advice and be like, yeah, I need to get the hell out of here because Ahsoka was going to tear her ass up. She's already tearing her ass up. Ahsoka didn't even use that. But yeah, I thought the Balin stuff, although brief, we got more of it last episode. It's got me thinking. I've just got all these different possibilities in my head. Of like, what are you doing, bro? What you doing over there, bro, Mr. Ray Stevens? You have this some stuff over there. Who you looking for? Because he's seeking something else, and what that'll be, I don't know, but
Well, it
I'm
seems
here
like
for it.
nobody knows what it is.
I
Like,
know, and
because
the
the way they
mystery.
reacted, like Thrawn and God, what Morgan, was that the other one?
Morgan
The
Elsbeth, thank you. I
Night
couldn't
Sister.
remember her goddamn name. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like they seem like kind of lost too of what Balin is doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tactical thinker, just like, and he's a student. See, that's the thing that makes Thrawn and Balin such good evil guys. They're not just evil for evil. They have their philosophies, they have their ways of thinking, but they also are students. They learn, they grow. They don't take anything for advantage, you know, because they've learned that lesson. If you don't do your research and do your homework, you're going to a fight blind. It's when bad things happen. And I think Balin's doing that, you know, with his worded and stuff. But I'm very curious to see where it goes. Thane, Balin, thoughts?
He just
I
said he
don't
doesn't
know.
like the
Oh,
character.
never
I
mind.
don't.
That's
I
right.
don't like.
I forgot. I'm
I
sorry,
don't like the
Voldemort. I'm moving
character.
on. All right, you're just gonna do cranky stuff. Oh God. That's why you're the second Hokage. Not getting any teleportation jitsu shenanigans there.
Technical Harry does do teleportation.
That second. I don't know if he. I know he. No,
He invented it.
we're not getting into the Naruto right now. All right.
I have no clue what you
Don't
guys
worry
are
about it,
talking
Kate.
about.
Trust me. You don't want to go down this rabbit hole. All right. Trust me.
No, I don't.
All
I
right.
don't.
Shin.
Yes.
Let's go to Than on this one, Kate, because I just want to say, Shin, how you feeling about our girl Shin there, Thane? There's been some great
Yeah,
moments.
I actually disagree. I think she is going back to Thrawn, and she is going back to the main
Oh, I
galaxy
agree. She
with him.
is. Yes, that's
Yeah,
We
100%.
all said that.
We all said that,
Oh, I
Thane.
thought you. Oh, okay. Okay.
He
Well,
told
yeah.
us that
So that's.
Balin said you want to go that way, and she's like, "Yeah, I do. We don't want to leave you, but
That's why I
yeah."
said she's kind of, it's similar to how like Mara Jade was the Emperor's hand, kind of like that. Like she's gonna be Thrawn's right hand man.
Like that.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. So yeah, she's fine. Like I like that she's going down her that path. Like I don't want like I know that Ahsoka tried to like tell her like hey come with me and like redeem yourself kind of a thing, but she wasn't going for it. She's like no, and then she just kind of left.
Well, there
And
was that
so
hesitation, but she was just. I think her hesitation is like, I think it's still not that she was going to accept Ahsoka's offer, but more like, I can still take them. But like her master's words in her head, and she's like, Maybe not. No. Let's just move on. Get out of here and
But
head
that
back.
kind of shows a little bit about her that she is teachable.
Yeah.
She's not just gonna like lose her cool.
Yeah. She's
I mean,
younger.
she might,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she can hold herself together.
Yeah. She's just a hell of a fighter. I mean, she was holding her own against Ezra and Sabine, tag teaming her. And so yeah. Ezra and Sabine, Kate.
This was the part of the episode I didn't really care
Okay.
for.
What didn't you like?
Mainly their fight sequence they had.
Okay.
Like, I really wanted Ezra to take more control and not be like, oh, the Force is my ally. Like, take the lightsaber and kick some ass. Like, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, I would have liked that too, but I do like
And
he
like
was
the Force
terracazing
push
the
was
shit out of
like,
him.
but the Force push was like weak, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, but he did do the thing where he held what's her name's lightsaber and was doing shit to her and stuff, and just a very calm, more Zen Buddhist kind of fighting from him, more than the more aggressive Mandalorian style that Sabine has.
But
it didn't really bother me that much, but I can see how it could for you. Yeah.
But that's not, I guess I'm comparing Phoenix Squadron Ezra to current Ezra. Yeah. And Phoenix Squadron Ezra would have not reacted the same way.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. That was the lightsaber thing. I was like, yeah, but that's your lightsaber and you're a Jedi. Like, might help. Might help a little bit. I know it's been 10 years since maybe you held one, but you pick it up a little bit. No, okay. I didn't mind the Turk. I thought he did some really awesome moves, especially when he was fighting
They were awesome. It was just
You wanted to see with that green lightsaber.
I did, yeah.
I get that. What about you, Thane? Okay, yeah, Kate, do you more? Sorry.
Yeah, I disagree. I think that this is right on brand with Ezra because Ezra did have the cockiness to him, and that's what that scene was. True. It was him like nah, I don't need that. It's yours. Like I don't need it. I got the Force. The Force is my ally. It's a cheeky Yoda line, but it's like I don't need it. I've outgrown it, kind of a thing. So it's like because like something that somebody had pointed out is that the chainmail that he wears are actually like the dog tags of the stormtroopers he's killed.
I saw that
so
too.
It's like, it's like, like I've been killing these guys off. Even Thrawn's like, oh, our numbers have dwindled, since we got here. So it's like I've been killing these guys off without a lightsaber. You hold on to it, girl. I got this.
I mean, the fight itself with the I can't remember the name of the turtle creatures. What crap?
The crab people,
Noda or whatever they are.
Nodi,
the Nodi. It was fun.
They're so cute.
They are so cute though, and
cute.
The fight I really liked a little bit call to those old western where they did like the circle of the wagons and things of that nature, and I really like that stuff. I just think overall all of it worked. We'll get some final thoughts here. Because this is a setup episode. I mean, it did resolve some things, but it also opened up more questions. We know Thrawn's coming, so we're going to see that next episode.
I feel like there's a lot that needs to happen next episode.
Yeah, it's going to be a longer episode, I hope, because we have to get the resolution of Thrawn getting to the galaxy on his. We then have to figure out what's going on with Baylan, right?
Yes.
And then we got to figure out what's going to happen with our three main heroes. How are they getting back? Now, I think it has something to do with the Wells. And Ezra does have a very strong connection with the Wells.
They took a beating.
They took a beating, but I think that they'll come back, and Ezra's got a connection. He's always had that animal affinity with the Force, to communicate, and has a relationship with the Wells. That's why they listened to him when he sent him and Thrawn there the first place, right? If you go back and look at it, so I think it's going to tie into something along there. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to, because we know the heroes are going to get back. We know Thrawn's going to get back. We know this. Mm-hmm. What the hell are you looking for, Baylan? And what is that going to be? That's the one thing I want to know, right? Because we can kind of see where this is going to go with Asoka. And
they're going to make it back.
They've got the ship. They'll go find the Wells. They'll get back that way. And then we know Thrawn's going to get to the galaxy. I'd like to see Thrawn, when he first gets here, go kick the shit out of some Republic forces, but like, he's back. And so they know that Senator Grumpy McPants can be like, oh, I was wrong.
I would actually like that too, just to prove that he was wrong.
Yeah, just to shove it in.
And just to show how powerful of a force Thrawn can be.
Yeah, they got to have a
He
big
needs to.
fight
So
with him.
I think that that Thrawn is going to solidify himself by killing off Ezra. That's my prediction
That's not a
for the
bad
next
prediction.
episode.
I could possibly, but do you
This
think
season or next season?
maybe next season? I don't
No,
think it'll happen
no,
this season.
Yeah.
no. I think this next episode is he's gonna kill him off, and he's gonna leave, and then these guys are gonna be left there, and then they're gonna come back in the next season.
Nah, I think Thrawn just wants to get the
See,
hell out of
no.
Dodge. Yeah, I don't. I
I
think,
think it's
yeah.
gonna end as they make it back to.
Yeah, they'll show the beginning.
I think Thrawn makes it back. I don't think the rest of the crew does. Not this season. Not the next episode.
Possibly they could just be getting ready to get back, and then maybe the next season is them getting back and
Because
seeing. Yeah,
here's
Yeah.
my
takes them some time. I
here's-
could see that possibly. Yeah.
because here's my logic behind that, right? So the only ones that can for sure know that Thrawn's back is that crew that's on that planet, and Thrawn coming back and being able to work under the radar for X amount of time across these next couple of TV shows will allow him to build up his get the Imperial forces together, get his plan in order, and then he does his strike. He's not going to show up.
This is what I
blazing.
think. This is what I think. This is what we're going to see. We're going to see them take off, Thrawn and Morgan and them, right?
Yeah.
They got to go back to the planet that they came from, not Peridia, but the other one, and I don't remember the name of it where they launched from. There are some Republic ships there, right? Thrawn's going to come.
No, they're gone. They're gone.
But they're going to leave. Hera and them are going to leave something behind there to be like, there's something there, right? There's going to be some kind of force there, right? Just to wait and see what happens. I think there's something there. We may see them just waiting, and Thrawn's going to come in and just obliterate their ass, right? And then he'll go. I agree with you that he'll go find the Imperial Remnant, and to get that started, right? And that's going to be his main story for this last episode. And then I think we're going to get some resolution of how it's going to happen with Asoka, Sabine, and Ezra, right? The only thing I have no clue about is what Balin's looking for and what he's going to find. Kate, what do you think of those three thoughts for this final episode of this? I'm sad to say, next week's the last episode of Ashoka.
I feel like that flew by.
It really did. I've really enjoyed this series so far. It's like,
Yeah.
God damn. And we don't know when we're getting more Star Wars yet, so it's like, oh, good.
Oh, the writer's strike, right?
It's over, pretty much.
It's over?
But the actor strike is still going.
Actor strike going on, but the writer strike I think is over. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So hopefully we start getting some more stuff rolled
Some
out.
dates and some things of that nature. Yeah. We know we got Andor. That's
I don't see how there's
production,
not
but-
going to be a season 2 of Ahsoka.
They've already said that there is. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
there
did?
is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's why I think they're going to be stranded.
It's been acclaimed and high ratings and
Oh, yeah,
viewership
exactly.
and stuff. So,
That's
yeah.
why I'm like, there's no way there's not
Yeah.
a season 2.
It was.
But-
We can say whether you like it or not. The numbers say it's a success. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fans for the most part really like it. Some more than others, and I think we're all in that same boat. But what do you think is going to happen next week, Kate? We got me and Thane's evil thoughts, but what do you got? What do you think there's
Next week, I think it's going to end on Thrawn coming back. Or maybe like him coming back and then finding out and basically the reaction
Yeah.
that he gets from returning. I think our like 3 heroes are gonna figure out a way back, but not quite get back.
Makes sense. Like
If
that.
that makes sense, yeah. And then Balin, he's
an enigma.
the one I can never figure out. I'm like, I don't know what his end goal is, and that's the one I'm most curious about.
Yeah, because
I obviously think Shin's gonna take over, being like
I
Thrawn's
agree.
right hand man.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing that I as I said, Balin, what are you up to, buddy? What are they running from? Because they said, and it's been established that they're trying to get the hell out of there because there's something there that they don't want to face.
Balin can open up like a whole.
Oh, this
like,
whole
whole
series has opened up.
box.
Yeah, they've opened up a whole Pandora's box of legend stuff that they can start
But
bringing
he can
in
open
now.
up another one.
I know, right? If it is Abeloth, people are going to shit their brains out because that is one thing that people have been wanting for a long time. There's some other races
Keeps
and
making
things.
the reference of going back to the beginning.
He goes back to the beginning,
Yeah.
So that would be terrifying if she was referenced.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, is another baddie that after Thrawn they have to go deal with that, right? It's like, good God. But it could be anything. I mean,
I think we'll see like a glimpse at the end of whatever he's like, if he's trying to bring back a person,
or
I think we'll
entity,
see.
or,
Yeah, I think we'll see whatever it is at the very, very end and not get any further than that.
Yeah.
And like everything's gonna like end on a cliffhanger.
I agree. There's going to be some cliffhangers. Filoni is notorious for that. He's good about closing out stories for certain character arcs and stuff, but then
Mhm.
leaving. If you've ever watched Rebels or Clone Wars, you're just like,
Oh, they're all cliffhangers. Yeah.
it's like
That's gonna be what this is.
Yeah. But he always remembers and always ties it back in. All right, let's give our rating and get out of here. I don't know, I'll give this it wasn't as good as the other ones, but I appreciate it for what it was. I thought there were some really good character moments. I like the action in this, but I'm gonna give this like a 4 out of 5 choppers. That's about right where I'm at. 8 out of 10 if you're keeping track at home. Kate, you weren't as big on this, so we'll get your rating next.
No, I'm probably gonna go at like a 3 choppers.
3 choppers. Okay, you didn't like it as much, but still
No.
above
Had its
positive
good
rating.
points. It
Yeah.
had its good points. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah, and that's
That's
okay. Thanos Kyrellus.
Probably 4.5.
Wow, he liked it. He likes it. He really likes it.
I
like
just
good
find it
storytelling, what can I say?
hilarious
I
that
know, like
Thane
episode.
and I are complete opposites.
Yeah, so on episode 5, switch those scores to Kate and Thane, and that's what they had. Then last week we were all on the same page. They
Yeah.
we were all high marks on that. And this one you two are flipped. I'm kind of in the middle, like I always am. So yeah, that's fascinating.
I was gonna give it 4.25, but because Kate gave it such a low score, I'm like, okay.
I know how that works, Mr. 2.5 negative Nancy on episode 5. I've got a herding cats, Kate and Thane. The Ashen and Boken to my Bendo here, the Jedi. All right.
Complete opposites.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It helps the channel, helps with what we're doing, so it gets our content out to more people. It's the YouTube algorithm, so I got to say it. But yeah, we really want your thoughts on this episode. Probably it's not as popular as 5 and 6, but that's okay. But let us know your thoughts and then overall story. Overall, I'm loving Asoka. I love this series very much. It's one of my favorites. We'll see how they can end strong for this season. We'll see you next week. So with that, I have myself, world famous Kate Gaming, fourth Akagi wannabe, Thane Kyrell. Everyone have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next week. Peace out.